What's going on, everyone? Z-Man here with the Z channel. Just wanted to make a quick video about a couple things. So, goals and ambitions, things that you have worked towards in your life, and you reach a certain point where certain things that were important to you before aren't as important now, and you really want to reassess your what your options are for the future. And so, me personally, I'm getting to that point where, my kid is growing up. She's going to be on her own here in a couple of years. She's got a lot of really great things going for her, and I'm behind her, 100%, and very proud of all the great things that she's done and that she's going to do. And so, I think for me, I've always wanted to work and live on the ocean, and have a life at sea, basically. And so I've been looking at a lot of different options, and I know that to get certain qualifications, especially to become a sea captain, which is what I want to go for, that you have to have time at sea. And so I've been looking at cruise ship jobs and maritime security work and other different possibilities for the future. Nothing immediate right now. I've still got a few more years before my kid is going to be on her own and everything. And so depending on how all that works out with her, it's gonna really dictate how I do things. But I've also talked to her, and there's always a possibility that she might want to move too. And so I guess we're gonna kind of play it by ear and just kind of see how things go this year. She's gotten into some really great programs, and she's super smart, so I don't want to rock the boat for her. I want her to have the most success as possible. I can pick my life up anywhere and do it. I've moved so many times throughout my life. I'm used to having to adjust and adapt and hustle hard and work my butt off to make things happen. So, but I just don't want her to have to struggle in the same light. I want her to have a solid foundation. But if it does work out to where we do move, that's definitely a possibility. And so the Maritime Academy that I wanted to go to is in Seattle. And I'm not saying that we would move to Seattle right away, but there's some opportunities out there to live and work at sea right now that I'm contemplating. I'm thinking about it seriously. Hopefully I could find something where I could do security work and work on the ships at the same time, or even working at the docks and ports. Anything just to be around the environment, just to smell the ocean, the whole thing. For those of you that aren't, I guess I don't want to say landlubbers, but if you've ever been drawn to the ocean, you want to be there. It's so powerful, and there's just a different vibe to where you're at on the ocean versus being in the middle part of the country. I've lived all over the Midwest, on the West Coast, Southwest, and it's, there's some really great places, and I've loved all of them that I've lived at, but there's just something about being on the ocean. So getting more deeper into that, I've put out some applications, and I've checked some stuff out, and so I'm kind of waiting on some feedback to see what happens. If some opportunities come up, I might take it. I might get my foot in the door and get my time at sea and do a couple contracts and see how it works out. I'd still be making money and able to pay my bills at the same time, and also getting my experience and the time at sea that you need for the U.S. Coast Guard, because you have to have so much time at sea before you can be certified in the things that I'm going for. And I've been studying real hard for my 6-pack license, and just getting familiar with the different aspects of everything nautical, chart plotting, reading of the weather, navigation, just everything that encompasses it. Like, it's not that it's hard, but it's something that you shouldn't take lightly. Like, you really have to study this stuff, so that's what I've done. I've taken that initiative. I've read many books, and I think I'm kind of like through the looking glass part of it now, where I want to go and I want to experience what I've read. And I had a taste of it when I lived in California. The ocean was so just wonderful to be out there deep sea fishing and being on the boats, and all that stuff is just so much fun. And I don't know, it really changed me. And so now that I've moved from California to Arizona, the last 5 years, like, I love this state. It's a great state. There's a lot of really good perks to living in this state, but there's no ocean. If there was an ocean here, boom, and I hear a lot of people say, well, wait, a few years and California's going to fall into the into the ocean, but I don't see that happening. There's so many places that have been at sea level for hundreds of years now. You know what I mean? So I don't see some kind of big climate change. I really don't believe in all that mumbo jumbo. I'd almost want to call it fake news, if you will. Like, there's certain signs of that, like, the ice caps are melting, and there's also proof that they're doubling in size and glaciers are melting. But that's all part of the of natural state of things, in my opinion. And have humans accelerated some of it? Possibly, but I don't think it's to the effect of where we're gonna see some kind of global devastation. I mean, earthquakes, volcanoes, tornadoes, hurricanes, those are things that are real life. Those are things that can happen. So I'm more worried about stuff like that than I am about my carbon footprint, or I don't know. We're getting off topic. So anyway, I'm gonna be putting in a few more applications, and I'm gonna do some more research and just kind of checking things out, and just trying to get a better sense and feel for what's available for someone that has no experience at sea but has a lot of experience that can be used at sea. That's kind of where I'm coming from. And so if anyone has any advice or experience on cruise ships, or working on big boats, anything pertaining to that kind of stuff, please give me some comments. My main goal is going to the Maritime Academy in Seattle. That's like, I've read that's one of the best places to go. I know Fort Lauderdale has a really good one, but I really don't want to move to Florida. I've had a lot of friends that live in Florida, and I always get told the same thing. Unless you're going to live in a certain area of Florida, don't go to Fort Lauderdale, don't go to Miami, don't go to certain places. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it's one of those, take it for what it is if you go experience it yourself. But at this point in my life, I'd rather be at a place where I know I'm going to be happier. And up in Seattle, it rains a lot. It's always cloudy. I'm one of those type of people where I love the rain. I love thunder, lightning, gloomy days. That makes me happy. I don't, sunshine and all that stuff's good, but I don't know. I've worked nights my whole life, whether I was in culinary or security, and I'm just used to the night. And so for me, it wouldn't be a big deal to live in a place that's, cloudy all the time and raining all the time. It wouldn't bother me at all. So I think that's a really good fit for me as far as that goes. And then, I'm checking out the financial aid and the student loan situation for going to the Maritime Academy. And so I got a lot of options the way as far as figuring out what I want to do, how I want to do it, and when I'm going to do it, So if anyone's ever been to any of these maritime schools, or if you've got any other, options that I might want to consider, or, if you're looking for someone to bring on board, I have an extensive work history. I worked at the same company for 9 years prior to getting into the security field. I was at the First Choice of Tucson for almost 3.5, 4 years, and I've been with my current company going on 2 years in September. So, I'm a pretty loyal person. I work hard. I try to take care of the people that take care of me and the company that you know, pays me. So I feel like I'll be an asset to wherever I go to. And, you know, it's like, if I have to wait longer, I'll wait longer. And I'm not trying to just jump, you know, out of what I'm into currently. Because I love what I do. I really do. You know, I work with a really great team of people. You know, all these guys work their butts off. And I respect all of them for their hard work. And, you know, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be successful to the point that I am now. So, you know, I cannot take any credit without, you know, including them in the success that we've had as a team, because we've been through some rough patches and we've made some crazy nights work out. And so, you know, to everyone that's in the know that I work with, thank you for all your hard work. Thank you for what you do. You know, I can't express enough how great you guys are, and just the talent and the care and dedication that you guys bring to the table. If it wasn't for what you guys did and do every day, we wouldn't have a team. We wouldn't have the success that we have, you know. And I know a lot of times we concentrate on our failures more than we do our successes, but you know, that's just the unforgiving nature of the industry that I've spoken on in other videos and my security videos. But on this one, this is all about goals and ambitions. And, you know, for me, my goal is to someday be able to become a sea captain and to work and live at sea and just travel the world and get a whole different experience than I've ever been able to have. And, you know, now that my kid's at that point where she's about to be, you know, living on her own here in a few years, I have that opportunity. And then, you know, I might even have the opportunity sooner. It just depends on how things work out. So I think it's just all in you know, putting forth the effort and just checking out everything and making sure I make the most informed decision that's going to benefit everyone. I'm not trying to, you know, hurt my family life or, you know, any of my other relationships that I developed over the years with people. But at the same time, there's just that calling to the sea. And if you've never been drawn to the ocean, then you won't know what I'm talking about. But for those of you that are drawn to the ocean, it's intoxicating. The ocean's so powerful. There's, I don't know how else to explain it, but that's my quick video. You know, there's gonna be, I got all kinds of projects coming up this week. I'm gonna be shooting a lot of knife reviews and a lot of video and DVD and book reviews, and kind of laying the groundwork for everything. I can't really go into all the action and training and actual techniques of everything until I lay the groundwork. Like, you can YouTube any channel out there and pull up, you know, knife throwing or stick fighting or whatever, but if you don't get the ground or the background of how I came to understand what I know, I feel like I'm doing you guys a disservice, because I want to give you all the information so that way you can make the best choice of who you would want to learn from. You know, if you want to learn from the same type of people that taught me, you know, you want to know who they are. You want to know what they're about. You want to know who taught them. You know, it's one of those things like it's important to know the history of your martial art, whichever one you choose, or if you choose all of them. You know, you want to really be able to explain how things work and give the method to madness sometimes. And, you know, not every teacher in every style that you train in is going to teach it exactly the same. You know, it's not that there's big deviated, you know, variations. It's just that everyone teaches differently. And so I think that's really important that you understand that. And, you know, you can see the collection of the stuff that I've got and, you know, make it your own or expand on it in a different way that, you know, works for you. So, you know, all that being said, thank you for watching. This is the Z channel. Please check out my GoFundMe page. I got one set up for me and my daughter. You know, I realize that there's people out there that they're definitely a lot more needy than I am. And, you know, you got people that need, you know, organ donors. They need bone marrow. They need, you know, major surgeries and all kinds of stuff. So I'm not saying that I'm in any more need or anything like that than they are. You know, if you like the Z channel and you want to help out with my goals and my ambitions and the things that I'm about, then you know, send me $1, a couple dollars, whatever you can afford, and I really appreciate your help and support. It's gonna go, you know, even a few bucks goes very far for me and my daughter, and we're saving and working hard. We're making wise investments, and you know, our future. So anything you guys can do to help us out, please do. Like and subscribe, share with your friends and family, and there's going to be a whole bunch more content coming out. And just thank you all for watching, and have a great night.